I have the chance to introduce a friend of mine who has impacted my life to close out this year's summit. He is the best-selling author of No Honesty. He's an entrepreneur. He's an EOS implementer and the open and honest expert. Ken Bogart's No Honesty approach is transforming workplaces, raising the bar on communication, and inspiring leaders to show up authentically. I personally had the privilege of experiencing his sessions firsthand, and I will say they are truly transformational. And his work has personally changed how I communicate both professionally and in my personal life. You can ask my wife, I'm better now. So today, he'll help us master one of the most critical leadership skills, and that's handling difficult conversations with confidence and with clarity. And as a special gift, Ken has so graciously provided each and every one of you with a free copy of his book that's on the table, No Honesty. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Ken Bogard.
So just to get warmed up, could you all raise a hand? Just raise your hand so I know these things work. And maybe if you feel a little extreme, you raise both. Okay, so you raise both. Okay, so I got at least one. I know these things work, so I need a little participation, just like Jan liked on the stage. So I need a little participation from you in different areas of this. Raise your hand if you know or have met Rodney Savage. Show your hands. Keep them high so we can kind of see. That's about right. I can't seem to go 10 feet in this town without bumping into somebody that knows Rodney. And I'm like, oh, how was that? How was that? And they all say, I love Rodney. I love him. They use the word love in a professional setting. Isn't that crazy? But that's what they say. And I've been doing some thinking on that, knowing that I'm going to come on the stage and talk to you about no honesty. And I'm like, why is that? So I think I'm going to expose that a little bit later. Cliffhanger. All right. So the sincerest thank you to the chamber. And hey, Rodney, you for allowing me to have the platform to share this very important topic. I'm so excited to share it because it's like I've lived in West Michigan. I tried to escape West Michigan 3 different times, and I keep coming back. Lived in Chicago, I lived in Vegas, I lived in Indiana, and I'm like, there's something about this place, and I keep coming back to it. So I'm excited to share this topic with you. Rodney called me. He called me like 4 months ago, and he said, Ken, I need your help. I need you at an event, and I need you to change how the world communicates. This community in particular, we need help in how we communicate. And I said, great, Rodney, give me 4 hours. And he says, you got 20 minutes. And I'm like, great, okay, I'll take it. 20 minutes, mission impossible. It's accepted, I'll take it. And so I got 20 minutes to try to help change how this community communicates. We're struggling. We need help. Annie gave me 5 more minutes. I texted him on the weekend. I'm like, I can't get through this thing in 20 minutes. I need 5 more. All right, how many of you, show of hands, went to Grand Valley State University? Show of hands. All right, Lakers, me too. Love Grand Valley. When I went to Grand Valley State University, there was a class in particular and a professor who I loved. His name was Robert Fry. Did anybody have Robert Fry? Like a bear of a voice. You know, just all this incredible experience. He brought Whirlpool into Asia, and I'm like, finally, like a professor who's going to teach me something. And I was so excited about it. And so Professor Fry, he's there. It's the first day of class, and I'm like, here we go. I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to learn from this guy. And he teed up the class by saying the single biggest issue in companies is, and I thought, this is going to be good. I had my pen ready. I was ready to write. And he said, communication. And I'm like, no, it's not communication. There's no way. I literally remember dropping my pen saying, another fluffy communication class. There's no way grown professional adults can't communicate. There's no way. That's what I thought. Some of you are giggling because you know the truth. We suck at communication. We're terrible at it. It's like we've lost our way. Now, I do believe, and to give another God wink, thank you for doing that, but I do believe, and you can believe whatever you want to believe, but I do believe God gave us this gift of communication. Like, think about it in terms of like we can articulate better than any species on the planet, can we not? I can tell you exactly how I think, exactly how I feel, but I don't. I could listen to you without reservation. I really could seek to understand who you are and where you come from, yet I won't. Like we're screwing up our ability to communicate. And so we got to change this. Where I want to take you next is I work with leadership teams, typically small, medium-sized businesses, but I bring leadership teams into the session room. So for EOS or my No Honesty workshops, I always go through these healthy rules. Please, you are welcome to take a picture of that. But I realized several years ago, I'm like, if I don't tell people what I expect in terms of communication, they kind of revert back to bad communication. So I'm like, these are the healthy rules that I need my leadership teams to live by. So this is what I go through every single time. The first one is respect time. We got to start the session on time. Come on, if you schedule something, be on time. It's a respect thing. If you're late to somebody else, you're disrespecting them. Number 2, get comfortable being uncomfortable. As a leader, you're put in many different circumstances, and you just got to get more comfortable being uncomfortable. And so what I want for my teams, too, on that particular healthy rule is I know they're going to step into some ugly experiences in that session room because of the stuff we're going to talk about. And when they step into it and they step into an ugly experience, I got to have them step forward with confidence. How is it possible? And this is where I need participation. How is it possible you can have an ugly experience yet still forge ahead with confidence? How is it possible? How is it possible that you can have an ugly experience and still forge ahead with confidence? Anybody? Create a culture that allows for mistakes. Good, thank you. What else? Teach resiliency. One more. Louder. Trust in yourself. Those are all really good. Here's what I'm fishing for in particular. Learn from it. Like if we just learn from it, you can learn from it and you can take another step in advance. And what I can't have is we have an ugly experience or an ugly conversation or a difficult conversation, and then my teams back off. And they're like, I'm not doing that. They regress, they back up, and they do not grow professionally. If you want to grow professionally and never stop growing, keep getting uncomfortable and get comfortable doing it. My gosh, you'll never stop growing. Next healthy rule, no electronics. These things are killing our ability to communicate, are they not? Like immediately, if you're on them, you're not even looking at another human being. You're not even really having a conversation. You're trying to engage with some sort of electronic. And I'm like, get these things out of here. We're going to have real conversations as human beings. Next, no sidebars. One conversation at a time. Let's try to respect everybody else. And then participate. It's a privilege to be here. How many of you lead companies? Show of hands, please. How many of you lead or on a leadership team of companies? Be proud of yourselves. It's all right. Like how many of you on a leadership team? I mean, it's a big job to do. And what a privilege we have to shape the future of the company. And I'm like, so don't forget that. And then the final 2 most important healthy rules out of the whole thing for me. What this whole talk is about are the bottom 2. Be honest is being truly and freely yourself, speaking into what you want and how you feel. Like, let your freak flag fly. Like, I do not care what is said. Just have at it. I need the real you in the room. And so be honest. But I have to teach this to my teams because we're not. We're not being honest in that room. We're skirting the truth all the time. So I want you to be honest. The next healthy rule is to be open. And this is the tougher hill to climb for most type A, type D personalities. You know who you are. But it's to be open. I've heard the word open and listen about 30 times today. What an important skill it is, but we don't talk about it enough. I mean, openness to me is listening without reservation. It's putting your needs and wants on pause for somebody else. Man, if we do those 2 things. So I'm looking at Tanya, and so pretend Tanya is part of a leadership team, and I'm like, Tanya, can we agree on how we're going to communicate? I want you to be 100% honest with me. Be truly and freely yourself, speaking of what you want and how you feel. And then I'm going to be 100% open to it. I'm going to listen to you without reservation. I'm going to put my needs and wants on pause for you. Promise you that. But here's the deal. I'm going to be honest back at you, and I ask that you be totally open to me. Can we agree to communicate that way? All right, we sure can, Tanya says. And so I'll tell you what, though, if you can behave that way with another human being, your team or your relationship is unstoppable if we are honest and open back and forth. And so that's what I'm after for you. I want to give you a little bit of context around what I want for both of these things. Here's what I'm after. With all my teams, I'm after real communication. If you take real out of the equation, hey, we are losing real, by the way. We are losing it. 50% of generated, or 50% of comments and photos and videos are now AI generated. Man, where's real in that? And so we need real communication. If you take real out of the equation, it's just a bunch of noise moving back and forth. And so we've lost our way with communication. I want real communication. Here's how you get it. Totally simplifying communication. We make this thing way too complex, like the 47 irrefutable laws of communication or whatever. We don't need them. There's really two healthy rules. We're going to keep it really simple. It is open and honest. Clicking the wrong thing. Here we go. Open and honest. That's what we need to really simplify it. How many of you have experienced West Michigan nice? How many of you have experienced West Michigan? Raise your hand. It should be every hand in this room. Come on, you have. How many times do we get asked, how you doing? We're like, fine, but my life is in shambles. You know, so we mess it up. Or the church greeter is like, hey, hi, welcome to church. And they're going through a lot of things. And so we're really good at keeping it nice here. It does feel enjoyable to be in this community, but really below it all, we're not talking about what we need to. And so this West Michigan nice community, I tell my leadership teams all the time, I'm like, you're up against it a little bit. Our community lacks this ability to be honest. And so here's what honesty is. So if you're taking notes, you can write it down. Be truly and freely yourself, speaking to what you want and how you feel. That's what I want from any person in my life. Why would you want something other than that? If I cannot get an honest human being in my life or a real human being in my life, I have what kind of human being? Fake. Like, raise your hand if you want to be fake or fraudulent. 0 hands in the room, yet we do it all the time. Honesty is also this. Honesty is truly and freely you. It's really a feeling. It's, are you comfortable in your own skin? It's also the true condition. The true condition is about accepting the facts and reality around you. And so a lot of times we don't. We skirt around the facts and we try to get around them. But it is the true condition. And then finally, honesty is it's about you. It really is. It's about you. It's your half of the equation. And so I want everybody in my life, when they speak, I want them to be truly and freely themselves, because what I get is the true condition. If they are not, it's like, what are we working on? We're working on fake issues, fake problems, and I'm like, I don't know if I can help you. I'm not sure if we're really talking about the real problems in our community, our relationships, or our leadership teams. And so we just got to lean into being truly and freely ourselves. Now, this is half the equation that I gave you, so it's only one half of it. I want to make sure I check my notes not to miss a thing. Gino Wickman, the author of Traction, has this story. At a 30th birthday party, he walked in, and everybody yelled, surprise. And he's like, oh my gosh, 30th birthday party. And he had 6 facets of his life there. He had his family, his new friends, old friends, and everybody else. And he's like, who am I going to be today? And he said, never again from that moment on. Like, I'm going to be authentic Gino for now on. And so he did. And I embraced that too. Now, there are 2 exceptions. I know I got a lot of HR leaders in the room. There's 2 exceptions to honesty, so let's be careful a little bit. I hate teaching exceptions because people run away with exceptions, but these 2 you cannot get around. There are HR policies, are there not? Okay, so let's respect those. And there are legal issues, and you're not going to get around those either. So, okay, we might struggle with honesty a little bit for a couple of those. And then one nugget I want to give you, and Robert Heath over there teed it up for me, but one nugget I want to give you, brutal honesty. Have you heard of that? Brutal honesty? Brutal, if you look up the definition, it means savage or violent. Is that what you would like to be to other human beings? Come on. And so sometimes we praise people who are brutally honest. Here's my challenge for you. is be 100% honest and 100% loving. Really hard to do. Thank you. But really hard to do, but it can be done. Just work. Next time you're emotionally high and you're like, man, I'm going to let this person have it, slow down and come from a place of a human being and be like, all right, how do I make this sink in? How can I give this with love? All right, so that's half the equation. The next slide is the most important slide of the whole thing. So if really you forgot the last 18 minutes, you can come into this one and really document it, please. But the most important part of the talk is here. So the last 20 years, here's what I think has been peddled on us. And not in a bad way necessarily, but authenticity. Do you see it all the time? Like, be your authentic self, right? Be you, be the real you. The power of vulnerability, Brene Brown, be your vulnerable self. Identity, honesty that I just taught you. I mean, it's not bad, but alone in a vacuum, if that's what we're pushing on one another, it's pretty bad. What it's doing is it's teaching us to be me, myself, and I. It's like we forgot that there are 7.999 billion people on this world who also want to be themselves. Man, we got some work to do. Because if we're busy doing all those other things, we're just building a world for one. You can't do it. It's a world designed for 8 billion people. And so stop designing a world for one and embrace the 7.99 billion people in the world. There's a way to do that, and that's openness. Here's the definition of openness. Listening without reservation and putting your needs and wants on pause for somebody else. That's how you do it. If you are not open, you are what? Okay. If you're not inclusive, you are? Okay. Pretty lonely place when we're not being open. Next, listening without reservation. It is really a skill. We screw it up all the time because we're serving me, myself, and I. Like, we're really after our own lives. We keep trying to develop our own world. And here's the challenge. It's a world shared. And so, are you listening without reservation when you interrupt somebody? Answer. No. What are you doing? You're serving yourself. How about when you're pre-preparing a speech in your head while somebody else is speaking? Are you listening without reservation? No, you're serving yourself again. My gosh, how hard a talent this is or a skill it is, and we need it. It's also taking it in and letting it go. Like, let's just start opening doors to people in our life. Let them in, but you can also let them out, so it's okay. You don't have to shut the door on them and trap them or anything, all right? But open the door, take it in, and let it go. That's openness. And then also, it's about others. The whole other half of communication is openness. We say open and honest all the time, and we miss the first word, open. That's messed up. It's a two-way street. I'm going to be honest to you. You're going to be open to me. You're going to be honest back. I'm open to you. I mean, that's how communication should go, but we don't do it. And so we need some help. I'm not sure this timer gave me an extra 5 minutes, Rodney. We need to double check that. Open and honest model. I want to share this with you. Aaron Einfeld, he's an executive coach. He helped me out with this. He's like, what if we put them together and do this thing? And so we got high honesty at the left, upper left, low honesty, low openness, and high openness. Can you see the quadrant we're forming? And I'm like, interesting things happen when we put the two together. And so if somebody was honest, truly and freely themselves all the time, but they didn't listen without reservation, or they were honest all the time, but they were not listening. They never listen. They're just truly and freely themselves all the time, but they do not listen to you. Can you describe that person for me? What's it like to experience that person? Anybody? Selfish. What else? What's that? Like a jerk. Yeah, it's a jerk. Come on, it's a jerk. And so, this is how we experience those people. They're aggressive, defensive, arrogant, disregard others. Now, a lot of type A, type D personalities, you dance over here in this quadrant. You know who you are. You know, because we're not being open. Now, if I take it to the other side, though, and I'm like, high openness, low honesty. Okay, so you're listening all the time, but you're not really truly and freely yourself. Here's what it's like to experience that person. They're passive, stagnant, indecisive, and they come across as insecure. The person at the top left gets a lot of attention in my session room, but they're as equally disruptive as the bottom right corner. I mean, both of them, very disruptive to communication. And then the bottom left is they're oblivious, disengaged, untrustworthy, unreliable. When Grace and I wrote the book, we're like, this is who we're writing the book for. This is who will never buy our book. So we have a marketing challenge. Any marketers, help me, help me. So now you put honesty and openness together, though. It's real interesting what people were saying when we surveyed this, and we got opinions about this, and we're like, oh my gosh, when somebody's honest and they're open, here's what it's like. They're engaging. Oh my gosh, we're talking about things that actually matter. We have high trust. Things are way more clear and actionable, and there is this ease of communication. And so that is where we're trying to go. To me, that upper right quadrant, that is talent. That is talent. Somebody that can be honest and can be open. To me, it's talent because they're really embracing communication the right way. It's also inclusion, right? It's not all about themselves. It's very inclusive. And so that's where we're trying to push our leadership teams. And the ones that are doing it, my gosh, their results are incredible. Their culture is great. I mean, a lot of good things happen when we dance in that top right corner. All right, so I want to do this exercise. It's called the agreement. It is the most popular practice in the book, and we're all going to engage in it. And so it's the script, the agreement, and it's really about creating a path for two people to walk down. And it's the same script that I gave Tanya. I said, Tanya, will you agree with me on how we're going to communicate? And then I gave her the definitions. I'm like, let's be honest and open, back and forth. The words that I hear often, too, that I love, is I feel connected. You know, I was talking to a stranger, and this is how I said we were going to communicate. The other one was freedom. Like I felt freedom to just be myself. When you dance around in the agreement, conversations are no longer difficult. They're just conversations. I mean, that's the trick. When somebody's totally open to you can talk about anything, it's not a problem. The open and honest model, it's way up there at the top right. And I said earlier, everybody says they love Rodney. It's because I think Rodney dances in that upper right quadrant. And I think that's why they love Rodney. Because they're allowed to be themselves. He's honest back at them. It's no problem. Here's my ask of you with this. I only had 20 minutes to do it. And I'm like, thank goodness I put the book in your hand. Go read the thing and give it to somebody else. Sounds like Rodney gave it to his wife. And then they had a nice little conversation. But you got a choice to make. You have the education. You know what open and honest can do for you. You know what it means for our West Michigan nice community. And so here's my ask. It's a simple ask. I really just ask that you all, you brilliant leaders, you, be the change that our community deserves. Help me. Thank you.